and good evening, everybody. Commander is still out for the count a little bit. He's actually working today, but he'll be tuning in from every so often. Tonight we're joined with Captain Whitehorse, XO of the USS Commonwealth, out of Region One. Yeah, I keep wanting to say 2, but I know it's Region 1. Admiral Bran Stimpson from Region 17 RC, also SFI Member Services. Fleet Captain Lauren White, Commander of the USS Haven out of Region 2, and our HR Director. Admiral Jeff Higdon, my boss, Chief of Comms. Fleet Captain Donna Roselle, CO of the Mobius and DOIC of 1st Brigade. And Chief Petty Officer Paul Williams of the USS Essex, and he is MACO and their MACO OIC. Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing today?
Yay.
Doing all right.
That's good to hear.
Processing oxygen.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
With some nitrogen and some, hydrogen and other things. Nice mix of atmosphere.
It's good stuff.
Not a lot of helium, though. That'd be funny.
I don't feel like sounding squeaky tonight.
Right.
We're excited.
Yeah, this is great.
I want to say good evening to Fleet Admiral Fran Booth, a member of the Black Hawk, who is on our comments list here. And everybody else is there.
Oh, there's Corey.
Sorry. I mean to clear my throat.
And Jeremy. Oh my God, we almost have an AB meeting.
Oh,
don't
boy.
say that. Don't say that.
Cab.
No.
Yeah.
Let's
You've
not
been
do that
through
right
that too. I know.
Yeah, I don't. Let's not
Hey,
do that
John.
right
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, there's our Master Chief Petty Officer there.
Come on.
Oh, boy. Huh?
Caroline tail.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so this is actually a live cat.
it's not a
now. This is
stuffed
actually
animal
a
cat.
live cat. It's not a simulation.
Oh,
If it
Region
was.
18.
Be notified what to do. Now? Is there something you'd
Bran.
like to tell them in
Yeah.
case here?
Still hear your music.
Well, I could drop
He
off
can't
if you want
help
me
it.
to. Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
But
He's
I am
Gilligan from
ET.
Gilligan's Island on that one episode where they had the radio going through Gilligan's teeth.
Yeah.
So Brand's
Yeah.
computer apparently picks up
Mixer.
a
The mixer.
specific. Oh, the mixer
The mixer.
picks up a very specific FM
Wow.
channel,
101.5.
and we get to hear it.
Yeah, well, I come with my own background music, ambiance.
You got to do the shoulder dancing when the music comes on.
I don't hear it though.
can't
You
hear it,
hear it, so you have to dance, and I have to guess what you're dancing to.
Oh, that's the new game.
yeah.
What song is coming out of Brand's mixer?
That's right. What's it? Oldies and R&B, I think is what it is. Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our classic R&B.
Classic R&B. Yeah, that's what it is.
It would have been funnier if it was reggae.
That would be.
It'd be a lot harder for Brand to determine which song it was.
Yeah, that would be. That would be really hard. I agree.
Yeah, it would be very difficult.
So, how's everybody out there in the fleet doing to this evening? I know it's a late for some of you. Some it's still a little early, especially you over in Region 3 and Carol.
Well, I guess the question is how many drinks has Jeremy had already?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, that-
7.
You say that like we in Region 3 count. Like,
Well,
we don't
so
worry
that's
about such things.
Jeremy counts. I know that. I've had that conversation with him.
Let's see here.
Like we're
3.
considering that he has some sort of like crystalline
Only
resonance
3?
going on there in his background, Mike.
It depends on what he's been drinking, though, too. 'cause
That's true.
he knows his drinks, and sometimes he'll lay a stiff one in there. So
He said to E, so
yeah,
I was on the Region 3's video stream earlier, and he was drinking a couple already.
Well, if you're in my stream, I'd be drinking too. Disembodied voice from nowhere.
I think it would be so much cooler if it was actually like a red lens-like circle in the center of his black screen.
There he is. Peeking around the camera there.
You could call him Pal Steve.
Yeah, that would work. Hey, Mike, I sent you a private message there, like you said, so it's up there somewhere. Anytime, Jeremy. I just call you out anytime I can. No problem.
Yeah, we're good about that. So, Lauren, I hear that you have, if it's all right with you, I heard you started a new career.
I did. Yes, you can.
Well, that's good. You just did.
You heard because I told you, and now it's too late.
Well, I didn't say what. I just said a new career. I don't have to say anything else from that.
I did start a new career. Yes, you can tell people. Go ahead.
So, for everybody that does not know, I believe she is our only member in the SFI that actually works for NASA.
No, she's not.
As a contractor, but
Not you, Donna.
It's not. No. I believe that Nancy Hall from the USS Jurassic in Region 1 in Ohio is also a member of NASA.
Really?
Really?
She's never on. So let's say this. She's the first SFI member to be on live stream to CS that actually works for NASA. How about that?
I'm about to say Ryan
That's cool.
Case has a member who is still considered. He's not an employee of NASA, but he's still considered a part of NASA.
Christ fuck, can I just get a congrats?
Yeah.
I used to work for NASA.
Congrats.
ADSM.
What I think is awesome is what you're actually working on, though,
That is cool.
which is amazingly cool.
Karen
Oh,
Carruthers.
come on, Lauren, tell us.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently half of SFI works for NASA, so now we're gonna have to find that out. Yes, I was unexpectedly recruited. I don't officially work for NASA. I'm a contractor for NASA at Kennedy Space Center down here in Florida, and I will be supporting the ground systems. So primarily the Artemis, which is getting people back to the moon here in the next few years, and the first woman on the moon, and anything else that is involved in the ground systems and getting things launched. So thank you all for the congrats. Thank you, Steven, for your attempt.
I think he got called away
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You make sure they give you a mission patch.
I met Nancy Hall in person. She had a NASA shirt on. She had she was working on space food that was being designed by high school students. And I know that Karen Carruthers works for NASA. That's right, Michael Stein. And I know that there were a couple other Region 7 members that were working there. They used to be on the USS. Well, they used to be under me in the Top Gun when I was in there.
What roles has everybody else played? I do engineering.
I'm
curious.
I know one of them. It was Courtney. Gosh, what's her last name? We had Scott and Courtney is actually one of the women in NASA that's featured when she was still in Starfleet. She works with assistant devices for computers so that people that are hard of hearing or hard of sight can still access features on for NASA. And she works with the personnel department to make sure that everyone has the ability to access and show people what they're working on if they have problems. They have descriptive information that they put into the website, and that's what she does. I believe that's what she does at the time. I haven't talked to her in about 2 years. They're doing some other fan stuff, and her husband Scott was doing weather related to NASA fields.
think weather is something I might be taking on, but we'll see. It's only week 2.
They both work for. They work at the Maryland facility, I think.
I went to high school down the street.
Hi, in Maryland.
Yes, I'm from Maryland and went to Roosevelt, which is down the street from Goddard.
You went to Eleanor Roosevelt High School.
Yes, I did. Science and tech program.
I was supposed to go to Eleanor Roosevelt.
Where did you go instead?
I ended up going to. I got pulled to the other one. I got pulled to Oxon Hill.
I'm sorry.
So, I am too. I went to like several different specialty things over there, but I ended up.
They stab people in Popeyes over there.
I never worked for Popeyes.
In Prince George's County. Yes, I am Prince George's County bred. So
me too.
Small world. I'm from Bowie. That's where I grew up.
I know Dean Rogers came from Bowie. I came from Andrews Air Force Base. So.
We'll have to talk about it.
This is Your Life by Starfleet.
Ah! No.
I just got picked up as a brand ambassador by Non-Hydration, so that's a first breaking into the running community anyway.
Mm.
I'm actually going to do a half marathon in my Starfleet uniform.
Oh my gosh.
You are insane.
What is your uniform made out of?
Oh, is it that one? Paul, are you doing it in that one?
Which one?
The half marathon. Are you doing it in that uniform?
This one, yeah.
Okay, that one would probably work.
Yeah.
I'm about to say if you did it in like a monster maroon or something, it's like,
Oh,
no,
God.
I'm sorry, Paul. How tall are you so we can have your coffin made? Because I don't think anybody could do it. Like,
A winter marathon might work, you know.
That's
see
pushing.
that
Well,
there's-
I did the Marine Corps marathon in just over 7 hours with a bum left knee and my emphysema giving me a hard time.
Mm.
I'd have done it in just under 6 if my knee hadn't given me an issue. But I'll tell you, that's the last marathon I'm running.
I see there's another a STEM woman on the stream, Michaela Phillips. I don't know where you are.
She's in Ajax, which is the town next to me, and she's part of the Nomad.
Okay,
Cool.
The chapter I just left and went over to the Essex.
So I will use this moment for one of my plugs that I have tried to plug before as a nonprofit Star Trek organization. Part of what we would like to do is outreach. Part of what we do is outreach. And what I'm hoping that we'll do more of as we reorganize Starfleet Intel is more outreach to people. And STEM could be a huge part of that. Not only just teaching what the technology that was in Star Trek has been able to bring to current times, but then also just promoting the Star Trek future and what that might be. And I'm really hoping that that's something that we take more of on, is promoting STEM through our clubs and through our outreach and through cons and through experiments that we show people. That's something that the Haven has done science experiments for students. One of my favorite moments was having 4 girls that look like me get really excited about a communicator and how that technology worked, and learning that that's kind of where cell phones came from. I would love if we did an external scholarship for that also, instead of just the internal one.
Hmm.
Thoughts. Thoughts
Good
that I
idea.
have all the time. I think that's something that we could give. That
Yeah.
would get people more engaged instead of always talking about Star Wars.
That Han Solo thing?
Yeah, something that's STEM IDIC related as a external scholarship to students or high school students or college students, I think would be great. I think that would be an awesome initiative that we could make. that would be giving to the community and also promoting something, girls in STEM, minorities in STEM. You know, a couple of us get hit from both angles. So yes, I am totally willing to do that. I would love to do that, Michaela. I just think it's something that is outside of the canon, that is in the present, that we can do, that helps us get to that future. I'll get off my box.
I keep hearing Bran's radio. It's hilarious.
You can't do that at all, can you, Bran?
Bran,
What?
you're taking away from my message with your radio.
Well, you know, that's what I do.
I think your idea is wonderful.
I do
Yes.
too.
I do too. Yeah.
The question would be, would you open it up to like just the United States? Would you open it up to the whole world? How would you?
I don't see any reason why it couldn't be international if we're an international organization, but I guess we'd have to work out the logistics of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do. Thank you, Jeremy. Maybe we do one of each. You know, one that's here, one that's international. But I don't know. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me to make us compete against each other. I mean, we're supposed to be one international organization, right? And all promoting STEM and all promoting IDIC. So we do an internal scholarship that I don't even know that many people know about all the time.
Right.
I'm not sure that it went to anybody last year.
I was about to say, there's been a number of years where like it doesn't get fully utilized, and I think that having an external one like you're proposing would actually make it where at least that money's going to some good.
Especially when there's
account.
Especially when there's so many nonprofits already promoting STEM, and of course I'm partial to girls in STEM, but you know, just STEM in general is you know, something that is being heavily pushed at the moment, and I mean, we're a signature organization to do that, you know, if we have the capacity.
Does anybody know what our what the funding for what kind of funding we have right now for scholarships?
Is that a Linda question?
No, it'd be
It's under CES now. It's under TJ.
Yeah.
Just curious.
But it would be a TJ or Linda question. Yeah, both should know. Or, you know, Steven if he was here, probably.
Well, it should be in the fleet status report, right?
Yeah, actually, Linda just sent out an email too, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't get her emails, but
there was an email like the other
it's on
day.
the region list or on the all list or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I was just reading that the other day. It might be in that too. There it is. The digest. That's what I was trying to come up with.
I can't think of anything to talk about.
Yeah, we're looking at a Star Trek
that's
lull
a first.
for that.
I know. I'm like,
Hey, David, can you yell in Steven's ear about this for me since he's gone missing?
Who says I'm missing? I'm always here.
He's the ghost.
Hey, David, can you yell in Steven's ear for me since he's gone missing? I'm just going to repeat myself.
Steve, how much money is in the scholarship fund?
great music.
3,000, I thought.
Yeah. And how many people got the scholarship last year?
4, I think, 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can actually move on this. What would we need to get started? Since nobody has anything else to talk about, I'll just keep going.
I mean, we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3. If I missed one, I'm sorry. We have 3 AB members. We have 2 EC members.
They have a guy impersonating an admiral up in the upper right-hand corner.
Oh, good God, with that again.
Give up, Steve.
Never. I'll give up the day I leave office.
Well, you're
Okay,
gonna have
Never
Mr.
surrender.
Taggart.
That's if they ever let you leave office, Steve.
Hey, guess who's running for office next time? Not me, James Herring. Congratulations. I hope you all like it. I'm going to retire.
What are you all spreading rumors now?
Retirement?
Yeah.
You don't get to retire.
Michael Stein is talking about how much each scholarship is worth.
Yeah, each scholarship is
interns.
$500. We were more looking at like how much money from the
I thought
scholarship
that got
gets
increased.
utilized per year.
I thought that got increased.
No,
I also
it's still
feel like it should because $500. But
Yeah,
About $2.
I thought that was increased or some crap like that. Or we could increase it if we wanted to. Didn't that happen?
STEM, STEAM, STEM, all of that works. Just something. I
Yeah.
think we should do something. But what would be required to get something like that passed is my question. Would
Hang
it
on,
be
I'll
like
tell
a
you exactly
proposal?
what it was. I've got the CFO scholarship fund. Hang on.
Yeah,
to
Jeremy,
answer your
we kind of
question,
casually are trying to. Yes, Bran?
you would have to write it up and it'd have to get voted on. That's about it.
A proposal is what you need.
Yeah.
Can do.
The SFI scholarship account opened the month of December with a balance of $13,948.31. Reported incorrectly last month with a credit of negative $272. Closed the month of December with a balance of $14,220.42.
Bit of a jump.
So we have $14,220 in the scholarship account.
Wow, that's cool.
More than what I was thinking.
A little bit, yeah.
That's a lot.
Tiny bit. That seems like a lot of people could have some scholarships this year if they put in applications.
The SFMC scholarship account closed out the month of December with $2,749.64. So
Well,
the
that's-
SFMC need to kick it up in gear a little bit because the fleet size kicks their ass.
I'm pretty sure that the SFMC one, you can only be a vet to qualify for those particular scholarships. I don't think you can be just a regular member of Starfleet or Starfleet Marine Corps. I think you have to actually be
You have to be a Marine, but that's it.
You have to be an SFMC Marine, but not you don't have to be an Armed Forces veteran.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you're a veteran, you shouldn't need a scholarship. You got GI Bill, you have college fund.
Yeah,
I didn't
we
have to
don't
pay a dime for
that
my
in
college.
Canada.
And look, you're conducting streams for Starfleet. Well, money spent.
Yeah, I don't even work. My degree, I haven't worked in my degree in over 10 years. It feels like it's been, actually, I think it's been just over 10 years since the last time I worked in my field that I was actually taught at university.
Sure list, I work in my field. It's crazy.
But don't feel bad. I don't work in my field.
You just work in a field.
I was gonna
Lauren,
say,
do
you don't work in the
your
field?
What'd you graduate with?
I got a bachelor's degree in emergency services.
But you
Like
do.
Is that what you do? Yeah.
No, I'm not. Well, yes, kind of. Okay, so I went to school to be emergency management director, which in the time of emergency, one person is in charge over the county, over the fire, EMS. So I went to school to be the director. So people around here either die or retire from office. It's such a good job around here. There's not any to find.
So you're looking for people to like pass away so that you can move up.
Yes.
You seem a little bit like you're doing, Mirror Universe on that.
No,
Hurry up and tell you, Chuck, so I can make more money.
We gone Klingon
Go to
here?
the
What's going on?
fire and like go on in, Chief.
No, I got offered a job in Mesa, Arizona as the emergency management director for the county, but it was too far away from my 9-year-old, and I wasn't willing to travel that far away from Fiona.
Hey, that makes sense.
I've had job offers, but they've been several days travel away from Fiona, and I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I hear that. That's a real big consideration. I mean, honestly, you got to stay near your children.
Yeah.
So
But
what do
yeah.
you guys normally talk about on After Dark?
Well,
We
let's see.
don't
Usually
talk,
there's
we
people
like
that are
eat.
drinking other things than like
Yeah.
actual pop.
The database.
Hey, what's the status on that, Russell? What's the status on the database?
Oh, status on the database. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Here we go again.
I'll take Fleet Admiral AMA for 400, Alex.
And the answer is, this project will be done soon.
There you go.
The answer.
I figured we get that out of our system.
Well, we could talk about this exciting thing in the field of narwhals.
I was about to say, is she going to mention the other topic that gets to Jeopardy? Like,
I'm sorry. What was that?
That's a narwhal. Stuffed narwhal, obviously.
A stuffed one? You mean I don't have a live narwhal sitting in my hand right
You
now?
might. I don't know.
yeah,
It
Donna,
looks like
why not?
It looked like a sex toy, and I was not
It's
sure.
not. that.
It's a narwhal.
God,
It's kind
no.
of the same thing,
It's
isn't it?
just a narwhal, okay?
I mean,
No judgment. Okay.
one man's
everybody
narwhal is
needs
another.
Sorry. I don't need a narwhal to play with.
They're only talking
All there
about
was a unicorn horn.
All right. Let me call in the actual human that lives with me.
Somebody should have known better than to put me on After Dark, but blame Russell. You
Oh,
know?
Actually, blame Bran.
No, it's you.
No. I said I would,
You.
but
That
she
way,
should get
that
her rest.
way.
And then
And I
you asked
agreed with
her.
you.
And then you asked her about it.
Well, I mentioned that we were talking about her.
So I didn't get asked to do the stream until, I don't know, 3 hours ago. And I don't know, you just put a unicorn horn in my peripheral vision. And I'm like, hey, you're just like, hey, here's a friend.
Close
And
enough.
so I wasn't sure. I don't stay up late enough for this.
Fran, do you have
Okay.
I was
Now
going to talk
I know.
about maritime operations in the Starfleet Marines, but that's okay. We will not talk about.
I have
If
another
Steven's just trying to
topic.
talk, 'cause nobody cares.
I totally have another topic if you guys want me to keep going.
Somebody says he wants to see a cat.
It's not about narwhals. Or this is.
Did someone say narwhal?
No.
Narwhal. Everywhere. Stephen, were you asking a question a second ago?
Flying free and flying fast.
Me
Yeah.
or somebody else?
I thought
think it
somebody
was-
said something, but I haven't.
I think it was going to ask Bran something, but
That's kind of what I thought too. That's why I'm kind of curious, but now I don't care that much. So
All right, so I'm just going to keep talking because
Go ahead.
nobody knows what to talk about.
We should
Everybody's
make
kind
Lauren
of staring into the
big
screen
center thing here. You know.
like this. No, don't do that. I do not look my most presentable. Well, you know what? We're going to have to work on that, Anthony, because this is past my bedtime. But there was something about having too many dicks on the stream and needing more female presence. So here I am.
I guess that's why they called me in about
It's the
an
first time
hour
I've been on
ago.
camera since I left The Young and the Restless.
They did. I got a text about an hour ago.
Some mandate from the EC about sausage. And so
it wasn't a
here we are.
mandate
Was it
per
some sort of a
se.
festival going on?
We had a number of, I won't say complaints, but we had a number of suggestions that said that After Dark was a little too male-centric,
Adult.
Really?
So,
Just male-centric, huh?
apparently.
Well,
So
I see that
it was
Morgan
asked
is
that there
seeing
would be
another
a
thing
more-
that she and
Well, geez, if you want to get on, you got to speak up.
See, here's the thing. I don't speak up.
We're just not
Ever.
going to pull names out of a hat.
Here now?
You want to be heard? Get your voice in there.
I think we should start pulling names out of a hat because I didn't ask for any of this.
Calm down, Corey. Calm down. Corey, calm down. Don't.
And yes, the masks that Bran made were awesome. I got mine. I posted a picture to the Haven Facebook page. I have not worn it out yet because I'm waiting for our first event next month to wear it. But the host of that event, which is basically a sci-fi block party that we have in a downtown Polk County in Florida, they have already requested their masks to wear for the entire event. So you should, get those two done for
Is
me.
that the two you want? You mentioned. I was going to talk to you about that. I keep forgetting them.
Yeah, I'll get them for them.
Oh, absolutely. I got this one right there. I can make it.
So,
Steven is trying to ask something, but I have no idea what. And
if if he'll be all right. So if we, Milton is on. Hey, dude, you made it.
Why did we add Jeremy? What the hell?
Yeah,
I just noticed him. He was on the second row of like people in the studio because it only lets me show so
Anybody
many.
hearing this damn system?
Wait, you went on about my habits earlier.
No,
How do you think I wasn't going to show up?
I was just wondering if you were counting. That was all.
No, I do have to. One, I apologize for last week.
Oh, come on, Anthony.
No apologies.
No,
I'm not
no.
worried about it.
Come
Hang
on.
on.
Probably if you ask.
Russ made a really great topic about that lately, and then when we try to wear this uniform, we do try to represent something better. I had a very bad day, followed by a very good.
Really? Hollywood Squares?
And then I was invited to After Dark, and it got shady. And so whatever I said, I apologize. That was not how we should best represent ourselves. I'm a little bit better tonight.
You know what the
a lot
key
better
is,
tonight.
Jeremy?
But Lauren, fucking preach on. You take this soapbox all day long. This has been fucking phenomenal. And the only reason I asked Russ to bring me back on is I will preach to the process to make it happen.
Thank you.
What just happened?
And the process that is we need the CS to include that in the budget to AB. That's all there needs to exist. And then we, Admiralty Board members, can go, yeah, that sounds like a fucking fantastic goddamn idea. Let's do it.
And you know how you do better, Jeremy? You don't wear the uniform on the stream.
Oh, no,
There
hang
you-
on. That's
there
not what
you
you're
go.
saying?
Yeah. And then,
No one
I
take
mean,
their clothes off.
let's be careful. I'm
No.
not saying striptease. Okay.
I'm only wearing a top here. You're not seeing the
I wear the whole uniform.
I'm in a tank top. I never get in uniform for this because that is too much damn work. Okay,
I used to wear my Scotty
I'm wearing
uniform, which I
t-shirt the
felt
same
gave
way.
me that, like,
Hey, this thing's got a zipper on the back. How do you think I feel?
my Scotty uniform had a
Any
wardrobe malfunction lately. And
You have to ask somebody to zip it up in the back.
All
But no,
right. One of you
should
put
not
on
have
pantyhose
represented
and
us
something you
poorly.
can't bend in over and come back.
But no, I should not have represented us poorly. But no, everything Lauren's been saying tonight has been fantastic, and that is how we do it. We just make the CS, put that on a budget, and the AB approves it. That is the process.
Cool. Thank you. I will work on that. And I think there are a couple other people in this stream that would like to work on that with me. So that is awesome.
I don't know why Kim Johns hates me, but whatever.
He keeps doing it. He just,
I don't even know who he is.
yeah, you do. He was on After Dark last week.
Yeah.
Again, I believe I
This is
apologize for
notoriety, doesn't
that.
But then also, Jeremy, to be fair, for everybody that was in the background of those topics, it was a pretty fucking contentious week.
It was a rough week. I mean, it was historically the most sad week in the world. I'm sorry, in America.
This is the most I've
third
talked
week
to
of January is
Russell
usually where everyone realizes that their resolutions aren't going to fucking happen. It's sad. Everyone gives up. It's actually the saddest week in America usually. But
I'm I've been on the phone with Russell for an hour. Like a couple months ago, I never spoke to this guy. I don't know what's going on. Everything's just a little bit crazy. So
Russ is good people to talk to, though.
yeah, he is. So yeah, I can
guess.
I can give you a little additional forgiveness for that because
That's awful nice of you.
there was, occasionally I can be that despite what Steven says.
Well, this is the first time I've seen it, but
Fuck you.
he does say that a lot.
I don't know what the hell Jerry's going on for. We're going to have Lauren for a
That's
CS.
why we're at
What are
work.
you drinking out of that mug?
What?
No, this is just me all the time. It has nothing to do with
Okay.
this. I promise.
Very true.
I was only
Ask-
joking anyway.
I mean,
Very
that's
traditional
a fair
Moscow
point.
mule mug. It's very pretty.
It is because I'm used to being on AMA where they're clear or don't use clear stuff lest people make their guesses. So I just use this. This was a housewarming present. But this is just me, full blown honesty. I'm sorry.
What are you
What's it say in
drinking?
the front? Look at the front of your. Can we see your mug?
It says
Just
nothing.
hammered style. Okay.
No, it's
thought
the hammered copper mug. It's
Yeah.
traditional of mules.
Nice.
It is. It is what you use for mules, yes, traditionally. That's not what I'm drinking.
Does it mean that's what she's drinking?
That is
Blowing
not what I'm
it?
drinking.
That makes everyone believe it's coffee or tea?
Whatever you choose to believe. I am brutally honest. So, this is just normal. I think Bran died.
No, I'm
I
still
think
here.
his-
The camera just spazzed out on me.
Yeah, I'm about to say his camera driver's on the fritz.
Yep.
Oh,
So-
I finally finished watching Discovery. If anybody wants to talk about that.
I have not watched it.
What? Discovery is
See,
fantastic.
I was the odd person out last time. Now it's you, Lauren.
I've not watched 3. I've seen season 1 and 2, but I
You gotta
Oh,
watch
okay, so
3.
you're like,
I just finished binging 3.
All right.
it is.
It's worth watching.
It's got some really strong points, and it's got some shit that makes you
Yep.
like, what were the writers thinking? But it ends on a high note. I will say it ends on a high note.
I don't know. I just love the one thing they finally clarified. They finally clarified a fact that has been on the super nerds' minds for a very long time. And they finally came out and clarified it. Replicators.
Yes. It tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think they did a good job for the most part. I mean, yeah, like Jeremy's saying, there's some spots, but I mean, in hindsight, looking back at like Deep Space Nine, I would say the same thing about almost any single season up until this last season.
Ish. I don't think their low spots were relative to their story arc. Like, their low spots were like irrespective of the story arc. Where this one was, the burn was pretty bullshit.
But yeah, I mean,
all I will go for, spoiler wise, but
But yeah, I mean, like TNG and stuff like that. They TNG didn't really have an overlying plot, but there are some episodes I can think of that they weren't key to plot in Deep Space Nine, but they were important enough to have those little tidbits to teach you about the next step.
Yeah,
he's right there. Like,
what I will say, and I think this. Are you on the phone with the CS while he's on the show?
Is he calling you?
That's special.
Oh, okay. That's special.
So
That's
going
so
about
special.
and speaking shit about admirals, I would love to talk about Discovery, and that it's the first place that we don't have an evil admiral. Like, the admirals are actually good people. It's kind of cool.
I got a command directive real quick.
Oh,
Bran, you are being asked by the CS to talk about the QM and the new items.
Oh, is that what he keeps wanting to talk about?
Yes.
One thing first,
Uh-huh.
because from Discovery.
Go ahead. Yeah, Discovery is way more important. Do that first. I'm also trying to type
Hey,
something at the same time.
stop doing that stuff. Like,
So he
So,
called
right-
you to tell you
he can't
to
get
have me
he can't get, like, I don't know what's going on. There's something going on.
I got
there.
one of
He
those
can
things
call.
too. He could have texted me.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Jeez, calls you.
Mr. VIP.
Hates
God. Well, that's good. As long as he's calling you, he's not calling me. So I guess I should be happy about that. Never mind. Take that back. But anyway, so season 3 of Discovery is fantastic. I think it's been the best season of Discovery. I'm going to say that because I wanted to, because the rest was the Michael Burnham show, and I can't stand the Michael Burnham show. There's at least character development in season 3, and that's decent. Anyway, I'm now getting a text message from the Commander Starfleet. Yeah.
See, he did.
Yeah, I opened my mouth, right?
He never gives me a text message.
Not me either.
That's what he said.
Don't give him your phone number. Don't ever do it.
Okay. That's what he said. This is how he treats his people. I'm just telling you.
Oh.
Anyway, just telling you.
He knows I can get on.
People did their job, and I wasn't having to hurt them for not letting me speak. But it's okay. We won't talk about that, will we?
What? We can't hear you because we're not listening to you.
Obviously. Like the
I like the radio
We
show,
can't
Bran.
hear you. I mean, that's more the problem. And every time we stop to talk to you, you go away.
I'm still
Anyway.
here. I'm not going away. I just can't have the webcam on right now.
Well,
Yeah.
We stopped talking a minute ago and said, Steven, did you have something to say? And you said nothing.
I didn't hear one thing.
Oh, there's the mask. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. I know a couple people have asked about that, and I was talking to somebody, Kevin, offline. Anyway, speaking of masks, there we go. So,
you got a MACO mask?
Say again?
I said, she's got a MACO mask? Got a MACO mask?
Well, that's her chapter, the USS Haven, I think is what it is, if I remember right. But very good job.
Beautiful.
Now you can turn your head. There you go. Anyway, so Steven asked me months ago to put together some masks and merchandise for Starfleet to sell. So the EC talked about it, and we talked about it, and there will be masks, T-shirts, drawstring bags, tote bags. I'm forgetting something, I'm sure.
Hats.
Hats are coming. Hats and mugs are coming. I guess that's it for right a second. I got to work on the
Challenge
stuff.
coins?
That's
Challenge
all through
coins?
Linda. Linda does challenge coins and pins and things. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I've been trying to get her address for a while.
and so right now the EC approved it. My wife and I are working on the sales agreement to send over to Stephen to sign, and then we'll get them up on the QM site. The good stuff is the fact there's not a maximum minimal order. So you can order one if you really wanted one, or you could order 25 like Kira did. They'll be made to order, and they'll be shipped directly, from Denver to wherever the heck you are. Except for overseas. We'd probably batch ship those to Richard, I think is how we do that right now. And then Richard gets to deal with that. Hey, that box finally got to Richard, by the way, Stephen. It only took a month and a half and went to Japan and China before England.
Wow. Well, talk about me. He went from Louis to Iowa to Massachusetts to Keble.
Yeah. Yours went funny too. Carol, yes, they do cover from your nose down below your chin. I think if we can make Lauren bigger for a minute, Russell, that'd be great.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Just so people can see it. Thank you, Lauren, by the way. It goes under your chin, and it's got a nose pinch. Hopefully, yeah. No, there. Thank you. You could probably take her down from that now before she kills both of us. Thank you.
I missed the screenshot.
Oh, it's got adjustable ear loops. Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. I forgot about that.
I was going to keep going with all your features, but you want to be a jackass.
Well, I was trying to, I know you didn't want to be on the center screen, so I was trying to be nice. God.
Sure you were.
Although on
Hey,
Facebook,
Bran.
you're still doing it. So, yes, Jeff.
How large?
And this is actually with no measurements that Bran took off of my very large face. So it fits very well.
That's a good question. Well, let me look that up for you, Jeff. Hold on for
I
1
would
second.
appreciate it because I have a very large face. I tried to put on one of those paper masks.
So you're saying you have a big mouth? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I have a big face, but the mouth is part of it. Anyway, I tried putting on a mask one time and I tore it in two.
Oh, wow.
And didn't even get it over the ears.
Let me see.
That's why I always ask about masks and warn people that require. Nowadays, the hospitals here in the area, they'll give you a mask. And I'm saying, well, let's see if it fits. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I'd have to use something bigger like
Jeff, I think you're just a little bit bigger proportionate all around.
Yep, there you go.
You're not the typical demographic that most people are shooting for, brother.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
I was a little concerned too, but I was reading.
He
so
doesn't
I
know
was-
what he's going to use the
That
duct
is
tape
very,
for.
very like,
I
he's a
wasn't going
normal-sized
to
person. Well, not about 3. He's just a big dude in every proportion. It's not his fault. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised masks don't fit your ass, dude. But that said, we do have to try and market to the common denominator, and it ain't.
Hey, Corey, they're not on the quartermaster site.
Oh my
yet.
gosh, no.
We're working on that
Oh,
now.
no.
Carol,
No.
you're at the age, so forget it.
So,
Thanks, Carol.
so for anyone wondering, this is the logo that one of our former members designed for us. And I sent Bran I think, a JPEG of it that was converted to a couple of other styles.
It was
And
vectorized.
then Bran made this and shipped it to me. It's like very good quality.
Thank you.
So if you wanted a logo on it, that's how it would be done.
God, I got more masks than I shake a stick at. Holy cow.
Yeah, I got a few now too.
Yeah, I got Star Trek or Star Wars. I've got Marine Corps Marathon. I got a couple other run companies' masks. Like I'm gonna run out of masks, right?
Well, that sounds miserable. This is the hat that my wife did as to play with. I was just wearing it a minute ago, but thanks. That's our 2020 modified logo for our chapter. But
wow,
that's actually pretty cool.
It's kind of interesting, yeah.
Yeah, well, the shark is part of our logo. Thanks, Russell. You can take that away now. Thanks. Good job. Good job. You push buttons really well. Is that what you were trained in again?
Yes, that's it.
But we'll get them up on the Quartermaster site soon. Hopefully.
Cool.
And Jeff, I'll get measurements. They're not on the order sheet, so I have to look at. I'll just have to physically measure it for you.
I'll speak to Michaela's comment. The net gaiters, those are meant for much smaller people. Like I can't wear most of them. Jeff is like he's like 6'7" or 6'8".
I'm almost as tall as Steve is, and I'm probably as wide as Steve is too. I mean, tall. No. Yeah.
I wanted
one of those. I have one of those, and it presses down like this on my nose, so I can't breathe through my nose with that thing on. So I was able to find
the gaiters are not recommended.
a couple that were big enough to put on, but I'm going. It's like this on the back of my ears, and I also have another one, a Star Trek one. I've used in pictures that are tied in the back. Luckily, they're big enough. But I told one of them I can't use one of them because it got a little bit torn there. So, oh well.
The new fashion issue of the century.
Yeah, really. That's pretty true.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with all these masks when this pandemic goes away?
What are you talking about? There's gonna be the next one and the next one and the next one.
Yeah.
I think this is the new reality. I think
we're
in a world of shit.
What happened 100 years ago? What happened 100 years ago when we had the smallpox, or what was that? The influenza pandemic.
The Spanish flu. Is that what you're looking for?
Right. But Japan hasn't let go of masks. Japan's just incorporated to their culture.
And that's from
I think they had that in there before too.
Because they're a culture of compliance, but we're here making fashion statements.
Well, we're us.
We're gonna make a fashion statement about it, but I don't think this is going away. This is gonna be at least seasonal, if not indicative.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Fauci said that the problem's not going to be those who want to take the vaccine. He says it's going to be those anti-vaxxers that don't want to take the vaccine that he's worried about most, because you can't get it. What makes you think it'll go away? I agree with you, Fran.
Got nothing nice.
But I do.
Aren't there new? There's new strains.
I'm not into this negativity stuff.
They will be useful when you have a cold. Okay.
Well, Carol's right.
Oh,
yeah.
You can't blow your nose in those.
So one of the cool things that I do think is going to be great about this, if we can find a silver lining, is that if you don't feel good, we've proven that telecommunication works for most work at things. And the ones that don't, we've identified them. But for fuck's sake, if you don't feel good, don't go to work. And there are options for a gross amount of people. And that should be the new norm. Yeah, if you don't feel great, no, you know what? I'm going to telework today, and that should be acceptable because I'm going to sneeze in your freaking ear, and no one wants that.
To Carol's point, we're coming out of a generation where that hasn't been okay, right? And I remember going to work one day not that many years ago, maybe 9 or 10. I had the flu, I had nosebleeds, I was dying, and people were like, "Where is Lauren? She has not been to work in 2 days." Now they're freaking out because the drawing's not getting done and whatever else. And there are some people that just, even a few months ago, we had a coworker in our little closed area where we all sat 2 feet apart. He's like, "Yeah, my son-in-law got COVID and we have him quarantined in the house, and he just came to work and told everybody." And he refused to stay home because that's just the culture. And even now, I've worked for people within the last 5 years. They're just like, "Oh yeah, they telework all the time. I'm not really sure what they do." So unfortunately, that's been something that's had to be broken. And then you have people like me with ADHD that can't focus. I'm like, "Oh, there's something on the floor. I need to clean it. I'm going to go get up and do something else. I just start looking around the house."
I would like to make a quick, interesting point in that before we were mandated to wear the masks, a lot of probably like 8 to 12 or 15-year-olds at conventions, they were buying masks because they were all into wearing those face masks from Japanese animes or different animes from around the world. So they've been wearing masks, and you could find them for the last few years before we had the mandate for them.
Because Japan is a culture of compliance.
Exactly. But I think it's interesting that a lot of United States children are wearing them around, just normally before this happened.
And not just Japan, but I would look to Korea. K-pop is one of the most popular things there is in existence. Or so my wife says. I don't know. I'm old and white. I don't know.
Yeah,
but she shows me these things. Like, you're right. This is like some shit that seems really popular and beyond my particular scope, but I would have found it without you. But yeah, you're absolutely right. These things, I think everyone always bemoans the youth of a culture and that they're lazy and shitty and whatever else. The millennials are having that issue right now, and I think it's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. The millennials learn from their parents' mistakes each and every fucking time. And they're going to learn, this is the first time that it's been a global issue. They had access to global input via the internet, via our phones, via freaking anything. There's just no way that we're not going to get more culturally pervasive and intertwined.
I would love, not on this stream, but at some point, to argue those points with you, Jeremy, as probably one of the only people here that is classified as a millennial, which I absolutely despise. I hate
it. 81
in that group.
Fucking hate it.
And I'm because it's just like everybody believes that we're lazy, and I'm like, we're breeding a generation that's going to be afraid to go outside. And I hate everything about being classified as a millennial. So you said you're 81?
81.
I'm 86, so I'm still younger than you.
You're the same year as my sister, and we're both classified as millennials.
And that terrifies most people at work and sort of thinking when I say that.
But, no. So, what's it take to set up a debate? Can we have a Starfleet official debate?
I'm not sure that would be...
I mean, I've already been making resources from AVS, assuming that I'm going to be doing virtual debates in 2 years. So
let's test it out. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to debate Lauren about. I think I agree with her on most points. So
I was going to say, I think we're in agreement.
Play devil's advocate.
It'll be the most cordial debate of all time.
No, I'm going to disagree with you because that's what I need to do, and then I'm going to agree with you, and then it's fine.
I don't know that there'll be anything cordial about it. We might agree.
Oh,
But-
that would, yeah.
Well, I know Jeremy. He'll be like, I agree with every one of your points. This is the only thing I can think that would be a counter argument, and it's not very strong. So I'm not even going to mention it. It's cool. Like,
oh no. I have learned that my only lot in life is devil's advocate. It's the only thing that's got me a paycheck the last 3 weeks.
I'm just the devil, apparently.
Well,
yeah.
No, that sounds awesome. Like, I think the more viewpoints we can get into that, the better.
All right. Apparently, I just committed myself to something. Make it happen.
That's what happens.
yay, me to make things happen.
Could that be in?
Is that two tonight? And the new idea for the scholarship? That's two things tonight. You're in a roll.
She's just rocking it.
I'm just in
Thank
pain
you, Corey.
today, so.
You know what? I just am who I am. Yes, I'll add it to my project list that I got between.
No. No adding anything to your project list.
Huh?
No adding to the project list. That list has gotten 5 times longer in the last 20 minutes.
We should maybe taper off.
Yeah. Get some
Delegation is a great thing.
You know.
I'm doing okay.
You are. I'm not complaining.
Demon generation member. So, speaking of my project list, can I talk about this, Bran? Can I talk about what I'm doing? Can I?
What?
Absolutely.
Okay. I believe that the person in the top center has spoken.
What project are you talking about is my first question, I guess.
I don't know if it's the one that Steven is thinking of, because it's one that I've told him about that. I don't know.
Has it anything to do with narwhals?
Who? No.
What?
Not today. Not today.
I don't know why.
It's been a little while.
The sex toy narwhal thing. We had that conversation.
Stop. Stop.
Can we not talk about sex toys?
What is on the TV in Steve's background? Like
fire.
It's like people on fire and such. I was like, what?
What
is that?
Is this what happens in the Paducah County lockup? It's like
a
if you screw up, this is going to happen to you.
Get lit on fire, followed by
Now
Mary
we know
Poppins.
what Steve is doing behind the mask.
No, that's a fun night in Paducah, apparently. I don't know.
I'm not in Paducah.
Oh, you're not. That's right. I forgot about
What county are you in?
I'm in a county that's not Paducah.
And a different one.
I'm not going to announce what county I work for because I've already got people trying to troll. I actually got a call from a buddy of mine in McCracken County saying that somebody who said that called the sheriff's office there was trying to check my validity of my job, and it turns out the person that did it is an SFI member.
Understandable.
Stalker.
Okay.
Just wait until they start trying to find you on the freeway so you can pull them
have a
over.
couple drinks about this on how to with Ryan, how to get rid of the river.
How to be completely spooky and sketchy is all heck.
No,
101.
In any case, Lauren, continue your soapbox, your projects. You're the talker. You're the talkster today.
Okay.
You may talk now. I think we need a debate between Jeremy and Lauren just because it'd be fun because it needs to happen.
Fire.
I already agreed to that.
Yeah, we
Where
were
have you
past
been?
that already. Yeah, really.
Jeremy needs to get some more liquid courage into him and really have an
We're going to go round for round for real, and it'll be fun.
I mean, Lauren's already talking about sex toys. I mean, you can tell what type of
I saw a unicorn horn in the video. Like, I'm not sure what you all wanted me
In
to
the
do.
video.
Or whatever it is you had in the background there. I'm not sure what you're doing over there, Donna.
You're narwhal.
What narwhal?
Now I know. But you know
So
what?
what
I'm a
is
millennial.
that?
Millennial. So
Goodbye,
my mind.
Karen.
Forget it.
Oh.
So anyway, I am.
Better than you.
So
Hush.
I am working on Steven.
Steven.
Stop. So one of the things that I'm working on is an org chart for SFI.
Her idea.
Yes, it was my idea, which could be good or bad. Thank you. And there's Bran's music again, distracting me. So the reasons behind this was one, like I am the HR director under member services right now. I get all of your job postings. I very often don't know. I very often don't know who the hell gets those jobs. And I've also realized that there are a lot of jobs that I don't know about, and I don't know what people do or who they are. So I'm trying to learn that. Second, I am starting to help out Bran and Frank with the help desk and looking at some of the questions that we get and then some of the questions that just kind of come up in general. For example, how do I do a flag promotion? And if you're not familiar with our website, which can be a bit difficult to navigate, we got the new website. We got the old SFI site. You might not know where to look for everything at. The promotion questions are not something that should come to us. And it really should be easier to find. And then third, I'm a systems engineer. So part of my job and part of what I do in all my life is just because I'm OCD also, where do we have gaps? Where do we have inefficiencies? So I see so far in what I've been doing a lot of vacancies that we don't advertise. I see jobs advertised that, I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know what they do. And I will say that for some of the groups as a whole, I don't know what you do. And and to my earlier point, we made a decision to be a nonprofit instead of just a fan club. So there is something that we need to be giving and everybody needs to be contributing. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody's doing that. So one of the things that I'm hoping that will come out of this is that this is something that I can update monthly and post, and it'll be easier than going to the SFMC website and a medical website and to no website because the information's not listed anywhere. And it's something that people can use to find the people that they're looking for, at least somebody close to it. But I'm just hoping that it also helps us identify kind of a direction of where we're going. So I would love thoughts on members for that if that's something that they feel like would help them. If there's anything that they'd like to add to that. I'm trying to add the sites where some folks have their staff listed to that site. I'm also identifying where people like Russell and myself have 6 jobs, and where there might be other opportunities for folks to contribute. From an HR perspective, I get a lot of questions on, hey, Lauren, this job sounds cool. And I'm like, that's great. It's not open. Don't ask me about it. So they're just,
wow.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping that it helps in a few different ways. And if there are other things that I can do from an HR perspective, because Bran can probably tell you, and Russell too, and Ryan, like I start firing off at about 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, we should do this, we should do this, we should do that. And I start coming up with all kinds of great ideas or not so great, depends. And because sometimes I look at them later and I'm like, fuck was I thinking? But I'm pretty happy with how the spreadsheet's coming along so far. I just got to attack educational services. Bran or Russell could speak to that. They've actually looked at it. Yawn quietly, dear.
I was going to say, that's probably the worst one. That was less a yawn and more a sigh of, oh my God, when you said educational services.
No.
I'm almost done.
They have in mind.
I have questions about the diatribe that is just befit us.
Diatribe that's just what?
Befit us? I'm trying to make up words that sound cool. Come on. Help me out here.
I'm just listening.
I'm like,
Don't go to bat with
Make up
Lauren
words
on
when it's cool.
this.
Wow.
So-
Yeah.
so-
What are you doing, Jeremy?
So that's not, Carol, what S31 was going to do. We have a completely different proposal that we're working on. This is something that I'm trying to do simply from an HR perspective.
And so my questions were absolutely of an HR perspective. Did you want our regional and or brigade or other ox shit? I'm sorry, department offerings, because as you said, you don't necessarily know what that is. Your position is kind of one of the very good holdovers from the last administration, where they made a thing that happened that
you realize that HR started 2 administrations ago.
But not
Let him keep going, Fran. Damn it!
Come on now, help me out.
Say it.
I'm trying to compliment people, you asshole.
Compliment the right people.
No, I don't want it. I work with you all day.
I've been talking to you like 3 days.
Continue, Jeremy, please.
Might be true. I don't know. Please don't. No, but your position is absolutely one that was a good holdover of. The meaning was to give access to, which is indicative of a membership handbook, to everyone. Now, the interpretation of that has met some issues, shall we say. Like, we need to go through you for a regional position, or a brigade position, or now a medical position, or now a MACO position, which might be an SFSO position. Is that B, shit you want to deal with? and so access to all things does not mean one place to point at all, and it doesn't necessarily mean that because we created this position, which is really, really good and I feel very, very necessary for the fleet level stuff, do you want to inherit the other shit? And if not, then please fucking tell us, and we'll stop it. If you want it, then by all means, I'll give it.
I'm trying to fully understand your question. So when you say, is a position something that I want to shit?
All right. So if the region or brigade or MACO or now medical.
Well, Jeremy, there's 2 parts to your question. Sorry to interrupt, but there's 2 parts to your question.
There are.
Yeah. So MACO, medical, SFMC, the fairy dusters, the crocheters, whoever group we end up with anyway, as an auxiliary and a fleet level would go through.
Absolutely.
The regions,
right?
The regions and the brigades. That's up to you and Lauren if she really wants to do that. So that's kind of up to her. That's how it was presented to me during turnover. Was the regions don't have to go through HR. They can, if you want to, but it's up to you guys.
Are we talking about the job postings specifically? Yeah. I'm reading a comment that says that AB said we had to go through HR. That is on you. I would like somebody to explain what exactly is on me. And if that's specific to the job postings, then okay.
I think Carol's referring to Bran and Jeremy, being that they're on the AB.
Yeah, I think she's calling out the AB on that one. I don't think she's addressing you, Lauren.
Okay, right, yeah, fine, yeah. But I would like to understand.
For the record.
And that is a question that has come up by somebody that said, I want to do this job or have this job in my region. Should I post it? And the answer that I gave was, I really don't care. Like, if that's a job that you want to have and you have somebody that you want to give it to, fine. If it's something that you want to open up to the fleet, fine. I have no mandate over what jobs you decide to post. And I mean, we are writing an HR manual per CS mandate that we're slowly working on. And if that's something that we need to, thank you, Carol. If that's something that we have to specify, then okay, fine. But I mean, somebody asked me that, a week or 2 ago, and I was like, I really don't care if you want to do that job or not, or put that job out.
Answer Carol's question. Like, if it's a regional level position or one of the ox departments they're in, I think right now what Lauren's saying, it's an option. She'll entertain it. I've seen people that have posted the things, but it's not necessarily a mandate so long as you're honest in your own regional or brigade or whatever your mechanisms there are, like for everyone to be involved. Like the membership handbook edict that says that all members will have access to all positions doesn't necessarily stipulate a methodology. Right now, Lauren and her department is one methodology, and it's the one we're using for HQ for the international level stuff. Those that want to participate, to me, that she's entertaining, that means that she's actually going outside of her scope to the benefit of all. I think she's exceeding her mandate, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that in a great way.
By doing a word card.
For me in a region, it's up to me and my communications methods to get out region shit.
So, okay, so let me explain that a little. I'm not trying to get into like nitty gritty region level, for example. As an example, Region 2, Ryan has us divided into zones as coordinators. So there are, I think, 4 or 5 or 6 of us that kind of check in on the ships in our zone. So I am one of our zone coordinators for central to southern Florida. That's not something that would be advertised. That's not something I would put on this org chart. I hope that if somebody has a question at that level, they would either know to go to the RC or know to come to one of the COs, perhaps myself in that region. I'm not going down to that level. But for example, we just advertised some jobs for JAG, for fleet historian. Medical has a whole breakdown. SFMC has a whole breakdown. Some of that, just because I'm not in a state where I would be looking at those things, are not positions that I've known about, right? Those are things that are coming through me, through HR, that I'm learning, and I'm trying to understand, what are all these positions that we have? What do all these auxiliaries do? Do we need all of them? And yes, I'm going to say that at the risk of pissing 50% of people off. I don't care.
It's only a third. It's about a third.
And so, just from an HR perspective, I'm trying to get a lay of the land of what we have, what we need, what's existing, what's actually needed, given all the vacancies that I'm seeing, and what's needed of the things that we are advertising. There are some things that are a consistent revolving door, like poor Jill. Like I don't know, just all the time with the academy, it's just like this person left, this person came in, this person left, this person came in. And so, but people have a lot of questions about those things, right? So if that's something that I can update monthly, then great. But then there are other things, like I mentioned, the promotions that people are trying to do regularly. If you haven't spent time just digging through the website like some of us do, you don't know where the hell to find that. And so if we have something that can tell you, here's the person to at least go ask about it, that can help you, maybe that will help. At the same time, people have to read it, just like people need to read the membership handbook. So, I mean, this might be easier than reading the membership handbook. I don't know.
No, there's nothing easier than reading the membership, but
the hill I'll die on. But ham.
But
what?
You make an excellent point. This is it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard.
And it gets quiet again.
It shouldn't. It definitely shouldn't. I will agree with you 100% there. I just went
argue
through
about
and,
what she said. I mean, everything she said was right. What do you want, Brad?
Yep.
I'm just doing a thing, and I'm gonna see if it helps and see if it works. I mean, we are developing. I think everybody's developing their own handbooks at this point.
Oh, Jesus, Rob.
No, wait. Hey, Russ, put Rob's comment on there, please.
No, don't put Rob. Don't do that, Russell. Don't do that, Russell.
Fuck you, Stan. Are you kidding me? Reading a 20-page manual is that hard? Calm down. If you're any level of representative of this organization, you should freaking read it. You should freaking know it.
It's right here.
Otherwise, you're wrong.
Pretty sure it's out.
At the same time,
And it's longer than 20 pages, by the way, Jeremy. It's 65.
it
I'm
is.
going to point this out. Right in my hand.
Under 100.
65.
This is
Still more than 20.
It's not Shakespeare,
Not
kids.
including the Articles of Incorporation.
At the same time,
our bylaws.
Manual.
Take away
So
your database
we're supposed
access.
to
Hold
just
on.
like ask Bran when we're taking tests.
I
Bran,
don't
I'm
think
having
Jill
a
will
problem
allow
with
that.
questions.
Jill and Kara will not allow that.
They will not allow that.
At the
They
same
will
time, not
They're all
everything's
allies.
covered in a handbook, right? I mean, we all
It's not. That
work
is
real life
explicitly
jobs. Not everything's covered in a handbook. We'll do an HR handbook, and given just the parts of it that I've written so far, God help anybody that wants to read that. But most organizations have an org chart. I've not seen that in this one, and
It's a little bit like Jello at the moment.
it
like
seems
Jell-O
to
all the
always
time.
be.
Some,
And I think that's all the more reason to have one,
I
so
agree.
that we can look at certain areas and go, what the hell?
Well played. Well played. Much
Should
better
be a
than what I was
search
saying.
engine on the website. Which part, Brian? The please don't call me. Just call me Lauren. Oh my goodness.
Actually, it's really funny, Anthony. The audiobook thing. It's one of the pet projects I've got going, to be honest.
Search engine for like what people do. Is that what you're asking, Brian?
So I think the audiobook and getting that, one of the efforts was to get it into other languages.
Formats?
Was to also get that into the text to speak. Like we're under no impression that we're going to get really fancy voice authors to go sing this song. But if we can get it in each individual language, if we can get it into there's a EPUB format, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
the
it is.
EPUB is the one you're talking
You
about.
get into EPUB, you can translate to multiple languages, and then you could very easily translate that into multiple languages of that being spoken to you by a computer. So not exciting, but effective. Not like Janeway singing it to you, but I'm sorry.
So, Brian, my answer to your question is that, with no disrespect to anyone, navigating the website is
Diplomacy.
cumbersome.
Diplomacy.
You just want me to say it because I'll just come out and say it.
Do it, Russell.
I'm still wondering why the site hasn't been finished, in the fact that we're still using backup
Okay, you were
for
nice
half
about
the
it.
site. Like, no, I'm not. Like, I don't
No,
understand.
you are.
It's WordPress. Come on.
If, again, I'll play devil's advocate. If I might, and I'm not speaking for that team right now, but I'm guessing, is that they wanted to incorporate that into the new database, into a single sign-on feature, which we don't have the new database, so that's not strictly fucking possible.
But there's stuff on there that makes no sense to why it wouldn't be on the new site, because it doesn't need database access. Like, a good point you were talking about on Take 3, the awards, the notations of the awards. If you're on the main site, you cannot find it because it's not there. You have to go to the old site to find it. Yeah, so why is that there? That has nothing to do with the database other than putting someone in for an award, but a listing of the awards can't even be put on the see. There's just some.
Yeah,
I understand nobody's
devil's
getting
advocate
paid.
on this one.
I understand nobody's getting paid, but at the same point, like, there is literally a job that this is the only job they have to do, which is create the website or update the website. And we have a new JAG, right?
Yes, we
Just
do.
got elected. Yeah, let me see here. I wonder.
Boggs.
The JAG is
Chris Boggs.
Where are we going with the JAG?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that because our
Let me see.
terminology is slightly inverse in Starfleet of IG versus JAG.
Yeah.
Slightly.
So I'm just saying, like, the JAG.
The JAG is just a defendant of
Weird. Judge Advocate General is Rear Admiral Scott Peter.
No, it's not.
No, not as of today.
Well, yes, and that information
as of
has been submitted to get updated to the
As
website.
of a couple
today.
days ago.
Just today, it was sent over to get updated to the website.
And add the deputy. There's a deputy that needs
Then add
to
the
be added.
deputy. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But-
Yeah, that would be my ex-CO, Mr. Eel.
Is that how you say that? Thank you. I was wondering how you said that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's stuff like that. Like,
That's what
a
I'm
simple
hoping
edit.
what I'm hoping an org chart will help if I can get, because I can get the information a little faster if I'm updating job posts and removing them in a timely fashion. I also harass people until they give me information.
No.
Yeah.
So-
And what Bran's not saying is that he enjoys it. And if I haven't messaged him by 10 o'clock in the morning, he's just like, what's going on?
10 o'clock your time.
he starts worrying.
He does.
we
He
know.
does.
Typically,
And-
the first message on my phone when I turn it on in the morning is from Lauren.
Because you're still messaging me when I go to sleep.
Well, that's because the 2-hour time difference. So, I'll wake up and there's 5 messages from Lauren. We need to do this. I'm like,
Because
"Ah,
I
good
wake up
morning."
I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock and I'm thinking. That's when I message Bran and Russell, and just be like,
Bran
hey, here's what's in
and
my head.
Lauren, I think, are a very different. Or Brand's in like a weird spot, I think, in that where his expectation as an EC member or under one of the offices thereof, like,
Oh, yeah.
why is the shit that I'm not submitted to get day-to-day shit done get done? And then the retrospective of an AV member, like, no shit, why haven't you EC members get this shit done?
It's interesting.
There is that question.
Yeah.
And I feel Brand's in that really weird spot right now that he can articulate probably the angst of both, but not necessarily the answer to either.
Yeah, no, I don't have the answer. No, but so the website. I know Greg is busy and he does his best and that's great. And I don't know if he needs help or not, but it seems like he could use help. But
Like, I put in case in point, when I got put into communications, and Jeff can attest to this, it was just me and one other person as a technical advisor. And within, 2-3 weeks, it kind of became apparent that there needed to be more in that section of the department. So we went through HR, didn't get a lot of people posting, and then I went and recommended some people saying, hey, I think you would be good at this position. Maybe you should apply. And then they applied. We waited for the amount of time to pass to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to apply. And then we looked through who had applied and hired a bunch of them, basically. And I think I looked at it when I updated it on Lauren's project. I think it was like 7 members. So, I mean, it's not like in Starfleet where there's only one person that knows how to edit a website. So, I mean,
Certainly not WordPress.
Yeah, WordPress is not ridiculously difficult. It is quirky at times. It's quirky at times.
Oh my God, is it
sometimes.
quirky? Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
especially when you're trying to link it to other sites to pull information
Therein lies
from.
the issue. When you're trying to make WordPress complicated.
Yeah.
WordPress gets fucking complicated.
Gets angry.
And I know a lot of times, like, there's plugin issues. For instance, we were talking about promotions a minute ago. Right now, as a matter of fact, there is no way for you to submit a promotion online.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
I just announced it for Region 3.
There was no way to do it. We had to take it down because the form plugin couldn't get updated with the new stuff. So
was it Ninja Forms?
Was
it Ninja Forms?
It was probably Ninja Forms.
It's probably Ninja Forms.
No,
that thing was so good when it first came out, and it just so quick it went downhill.
Well, I think the problem is like WordPress updates like constantly, and then the apps just don't update. So you're 10 or 15 updates behind on the app.
Ninja Forms was like faster than WordPress initially. Like they were like iterating ridiculously, and now they're like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's where like the Region 3's forms, like we have the exact same issue. We outsourced all of our forms for awards for the season to Google because it'll fucking deliver it.
Yeah.
And
that's something else we're changing too.
We couldn't update our region, like the website itself, fast enough. We have to go like reiterate what forms plugin is acceptable. And
yeah, I think that's the problem Greg's having. It was the same problem with Orders of Merit, I think was the other one we had.
They're all
So, but yeah.
I didn't know that was
same problem like Carol points out with Moodle. Moodle has the same problem. They update Moodle instead of waiting for major revisions to do updates. They update every time they have any amount of code that needs to be updated. They update it, and then it's like, oh well, you updated this, but we removed this entire section. Now you have to restart.
It's amazing how Moodle is great and miserable at the exact same time.
Right.
I work on Moodle and something else for non-Starfleet stuff, and I just don't get it. I don't get that program. It seems like it could be good, and then every time you're like, I got it. Oh, another update. Well, what did they just do with that? Why? Okay, great.
Well, the last one it updated and it removed all of the links to like the catalog and the like the email addresses to the directors and such.
Jake
And it's
is
like
still working on some of that. I was just talking to him, emailing him today about some of that stuff that's in the help desk, and he's like, I'm talking to the vendor and trying to get this fixed. And
but yeah, it's like, why would an update do that? That's like Microsoft Windows updates where when it wanted you to update, it would turn off your Wi-Fi and not let you turn it back on until you reboot. Like, so annoying.
I don't know about the SMMC awards, Anthony. You have to ask the Marines. Those aren't under me, unfortunately. Yeah, contact one here. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you.
I checked it earlier; it was working.
Yeah. So
I know they had some domain issues though. So that's a really great question for Infocom. I would follow that through the Infocom chain because I know they were trying to move off of a provider recently, and I don't know how that got broken out as to which forms are on which.
Well, if you're in Region 1 and you're in the 1st Brigade and you want to put some awards in, and we're having a deadline of the 31st of January at midnight. So trying to work on those. Yeah. Well, we have our summit is in May.
All right. So I guess that makes sense. So in 3rd Brigade, to put that hat on, we're having our deadline from the 15th of this month, which was several days ago, to the end of March, which was but our summit / invitational with the brigade is not until June. So
well, the Region 1 just for the Region 1, I understand those awards are also due on the same time.
Yeah, you guys
for Region 1 and for
much earlier than everybody.
Oh God, yeah, we have ours.
Most of us are trying to adopt
in Gatlinburg,
a similar aspect to you guys, especially since we don't know. And I think this is great, and I think this is positive, by the way. But we don't know when IC might be. I think it always being in August is bullshit.
Well, is it so? What's going on with the IC right now? I mean, I understand it's still in June.
It's in June.
Florida.
The latest is that Linda
It
is not changing it.
competing with a potential convention in Las Vegas in August.
Now we did cancel Region 2 Summit, which is why I know that IC is still happening, because that was supposed to be in Orlando this year, and Florida. We do what we do. So we are.
Are you okay there?
I think she froze.
She did froze.
So it's
But if anyone has any, if anyone's having issues in Region 1 with the SFMC awards that are due on the 31st, try and contact me, and I'll try and point you in the right direction. Or I will point you in the right direction.
And
what?
If you've not gotten your stuff acknowledged, that's indicative of your either brigade or our commander or your RC.
Where are we looking at?
Anthony Rumpel.
I'm Region 10.
Yeah, Region 10.
Oh. Well,
are you talking about fleet awards, Anthony?
Like what are
talking about?
What awards are not getting acknowledged? And what not acknowledged. Like just because you submit something doesn't mean you win. There is a competitive aspect to the region level, and
now that doesn't mean that everybody doesn't believe that, but
and HQ level awards. But if they're just, you should absolutely I received your nomination. I think
you get acknowledged. Yeah, I mean at least.
What are we talking about acknowledgement?
Well, I mean, if you get an award nomination, you should turn around and say, "I got your nomination, thank you." I mean that's all I'm talking about.
I fully agree. So what is the Lauren's back.
Hi.
Welcome back.
We thought Florida fell off the continent.
You were in mid-sentence and you were just like,
I'm down the corner.
And I could hear all of you guys going, "Oh, she froze. She froze. Did she freeze? Oh my God, I think she froze. She's gone." And I'm like, "I'm here. I can hear you."
I've been frozen too. It's an interesting feeling.
But no, all I was saying is that we made an announcement that we are postponing Region 2 Summit to April 8th through 10th, which actually ended up working out better for us because like my ship is hosting this year, and some of the things that we wanted to do got canceled, screwed up because of schedules and whatnot changing. So we're actually going to have the summit we wanted to next year, and we're going to do awards online. And in response to that, Linda did say, I think on the Region 2 site, that we are going forward as planned with IC in June in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Well, also from what I've heard, it's beyond the point of canceling it.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
That doesn't mean people are going to show up.
Yeah, it doesn't. And
I'm planning on going even if we have the COVID.
It's an absolute horrible time to have to plan, to plan something. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully by June, maybe we're starting to be able to do things without breaking too many guidelines and health violations. And I'm clicking on something. There we go. Anyway, so hopefully, I mean, I would hate to see another IT canceled because it was kind of a weird cluster last time.
Are we listening to Whitney Houston right now?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that she's singing in the background.
Music from Bran, and I get nothing. I feel like,
and he can't hear it, which is the
I can't hear
funniest
it.
thing.
I did earlier, but
Bran, you just have some great music.
I want some Whitney Houston.
Are you always going to love me, Bran?
What?
Are you always going to love me?
Oh,
That's what
always going to love you?
That's what your computer's saying to her.
Oh, I see. Well, my computer loves you. Well, apparently my mixer likes you. I don't know. It's right over there.
Very good.
I thought it was talking to me.
So uncomfortable right now.
Who? What?
Huh?
What?
Narwhal.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go, Narwhal.
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 Beach narwhal.
in my ringtone
Unicorn
on my
sex
cell phone.
toy. That's
It
what
is
I'm calling
not
that
a
thing.
unicorn sex toy. It's
You're
just
right.
a marine.
It's a maritime unicorn sex toy.
Tactical face palm.
Oh my god. Okay, in
Yes!
case anybody's wondering what you're talking about. Okay, so I have this
Yes,
weird.
Corey, I'm going to take care of that. Sorry for interrupting, Donna. Yes, Corey, I'm going to get the RF shielding. Jeez.
Like only 2 people could hear it. It's fantastic.
I can hear.
There's David here.
I
only
think
hear
the
it
only one not to hear it, Jeremy, actually.
So
Besides me.
it's not everybody hearing it. It's just
No.
me and who.
Jeremy said,
I hear it. I hear
I
it.
can hear it.
yeah, I
I
think Jeremy's the
can-
only one who doesn't.
No.
Hear it very clearly, like Whitney
That's
Houston
definitely
singing to
coming
me.
from that person right there in the center.
No, it's not.
That
No.
person.
I don't know what you're talking
Really,
about.
it's that person.
Some guy under me.
That
Ah,
person.
yes, the Superman March. I have that, Donnie. I have that on my phone,
No,
along with the
You're so Whitney Houston.
Oh.
along with the Indiana Jones March.
I feel left out.
Okay, who-
Well,
Corey,
Jeremy.
no, we're not doing the quack, quack, quack.
don't
Hey,
understand
Jeremy,
that
pay
one.
attention to Discord, would you?
Shit, how many places do you want me to pay attention to, brother?
All of them.
All. Yeah. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate the answer. Russell's my official spokesperson in all matters
So
concerning
you
that.
have an awards question?
I do. Yeah. Well, for the AB kind of thing.
You know you're a member of that, right?
I
This
do.
is After Dark.
Yeah. True. But anyway.
But-
I think we talked about this already, though, didn't we? Did we talk about that already?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember either.
I have no idea what we talked about already.
I don't either.
It's so quiet about the CS.
Yeah,
I
because
think
he's
we want to see
off,
the narwhal.
yeah, he's off screen. I was gonna
What
say,
is your
Jeremy,
inquiry, Bran?
What?
I have an awards question for you, Jeremy.
Well, shit. So does everybody, apparently.
No, mine's a good one. So have we ever confirmed that CS gave carte blanche for you to just take the committee and just take it over and just do it?
What?
About that.
There was an awards committee call for one where it was going to have a representative from one from MACO, one from Starfleet Marines, the awards director from
yeah.
Fleet.
Or
Fine,
what?
right?
Jeremy would be chairman. I was put on it as a CS representative. Like all of these different things. And
And then he got drunk one day on After Dark and said that I'm just going to put Jeremy in charge. And I took that as carte blanche.
Oh.
I've not exercised that at this particular moment. And I've since asked him about this, and he said, yeah, I probably did.
What would be the point of doing that?
So the entire... All right.
Yeah.
We're going to have to rewind this a little bit.
Please do. Please do.
The idea was initially that while the SFMC enjoys some really great bling upon their uniforms, that there's not similar stuff throughout the fleet side.
What?
So the initial idea was to get fleet representation of fleet awards that you could wear upon your personage.
I like that idea.
Hang on. Turns out that gets a little bit complicated. The SFMC, at the time, the medical, and certainly the MACOs, right now, all had dogs in this fight because there's only so many ribbons, military spec ribbons that go on a military spec bar. We could all buy, at least US. It's a little bit harder for OCONUS, and that's another issue that we need to address. Could just order either via Parade Store or Vanguard. We could all do these things, but we were all like we were all fishing in the same pool. That made that pretty small. So we wanted to like try and consolidate where things were smart, and that's where the committees came in. Was we were trying to do the consolidation of things that transpired between all the orgs first, and then second, make a hierarchy of where all the ribbons or awards of whatever.
Jeremy should definitely head this up.
Okay, so
turns
let
out
me-
I was.
let-
I was
let
appointed.
me-
Calm down.
let
By
me-
himself. All by
Let
himself.
me ask. Let me try and clarify.
Okay, go for it.
As somebody from an outside perspective. So we were trying to create visible awards that could be worn on uniform that don't mean anything to anybody but us.
Also
that are military standard, which we are not.
Hang on.
Whoa.
You're slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
There is canon precedent for having them, but go ahead.
Canon precedent. Okay, fine.
That
Do you want me to get started on that too?
Freaking no. Don't get her started on that. God, please don't do that one.
I love
Don't
this.
do
Keep going.
No, wait. Go
That
back to the awards, Lauren. Awards.
Okay, that are military canon precedent, which we are still not.
Not military canon precedent. No.
Military-like canon precedent, which we are present day here. And this is somehow alleviated by you doing a committee that combines all of them.
So the issue previous was that on a Starfleet Marine uniform, you were not allowed to wear other shit. And there wasn't any Starfleet shit to put on your Marine uniform. And then if you get into the MACOs, like, well, now we have the same kind of awards. We're doing the same kind of thing. And we're also not allowing the Marine awards on this. But also,
hold on. Let me
calm down, Paul. I ain't done with you. And then we get into medical, which at the time, and has changed, we're doing mil-spec style awards. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. It's like, and you can only wear it on our uniform. Like, we're all one fucking org. That doesn't make any sense. But no one had tried to unify them in a logical, insane way. And where there are times where they overlap, we should recognize that and maybe even expand upon that. So, Honor Guard is one of my favorite ones to use for this. Both the MACOs and the Marines have an Honor Guard award.
Yes, they do.
And it turns out that in both of those instances, they instigate and then they absolutely state in their manuals that you should incorporate fleet, which does not have a fucking award. So that should all be one award for 3 people. It shouldn't matter who you were representing at that point if you were part of that honor guard. It's just you were part of the fucking Starfleet honor guard. Period. End of discussion. There shouldn't be 3 different things for that. That's a good place.
That's a fair point. Okay.
So there's plenty of places that need to be consolidated.
Sense.
Especially when our limit of mil-spec awards that are available to the general public that they slide on the ribbon bar easily from a physical standpoint, but are available from a commercial standpoint and are not getting into that. We're not actually using military awards. We're not using JROTC awards. We're not using ROTC awards. We're not using any military. We're not impeding upon like issues of valor shit. Those all had to be considered. Like these were like it seemed like a very simplistic situation, but Chris Lovejoy and I wrote up a report a couple of years ago that like this was not simplistic.
Hey Russell, can you put that last comment up?
Sorry, what?
Let me see which one.
That very last one from Nick.
Okay, that doesn't have any bearing on the situation, Nick. Thanks. You're right. SMC branches have the logo on them. Wearing one right now. If you didn't earn it, don't fucking wear it.
We could just combine all the auxiliaries and, then that would be easier.
I don't think that's actually the right answer either, but we can include that on our debate night, apparently.
I was going to say, there's a bunch of debates. Like, I don't agree with the ribbon at all.
So the issue was, like, how the underlying issue is how can we get fleet, like, the general membership, the people that are not part of an auxiliary unit, awards that they can wear in a way that is canonically represented, is available commercially to be purchased, makes sense, and we can combine them all to where, like, hey, I could just see what you've done. Because, like, that's the whole point of, like, having that that fruit salad, as we talked about it in the Air Force. It's like, oh, I've seen what you've done, and that's the issue. No, that's not your point. Don't unify the awards. We have our logo on our shit that makes sense.
That was sarcasm, folks.
Okay, I don't speak sarcasm.
Why not just pull the whole works into Starfleet and just have certain awards that aren't redundant, indicated by an M on the ribbon part for the Marines, and maybe something else for MACO.
So finding those particular answers is exactly the point of this committee. And the whole idea was we were going to have representation from everyone who had a dog in the fight. And not everyone sent a dog. And that was my problem. It wasn't that I wasn't willing to work with anybody. It was just, no, not everybody sent a dog to the fight. So, in the CS in one particular After Dark said, well, screw it. I'll just give it to Jeremy to go do. And I've since asked him. I did not take that as carte blanche, as much as I giggled heavily at that particular moment in life. I did circle back with him, and he and I are talking about it. Like, of what level of check did he sign at that particular moment? So I want to make it right. We're not here to invalidate each other's fandom experience by saying mine's better than yours. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it more and more inclusive. And if you're not on board with that plan, then you don't belong in this conversation.
Well, that's a point that I was going to touch on. And Corey is saying here, not everybody is not going to want to wear awards, but then also not everybody can. So, I mean, is it just for people in these auxiliaries? Because folks like myself have gotten the Commander Star Award. That's new. It's a very high-ranking award for civilians. I have a certificate that's in a plastic sheet and a binder. I can't wear that.
Pretty rough to wear around your neck, yeah.
Yeah, I got enough going on up here, so I don't know that anybody would be able to actually read it if I did do that. So how do you... Got this one going.
Keep this to myself. No,
I got your point.
Thank you.
Actually, it was only the auxiliary department that had come up with stipulations on how this goes on a uniform.
But how what department does that fall under is my point.
No, it was only the auxiliary departments, and they were only governing themselves.
Excuse me a moment. Right. I just want to say goodnight, all. I got to go.
Good night.
Good
night. Bye.
And that was the issue, is the auxiliary departments were only governing themselves, and they were only being, shall I dare throw out the term, elitist amongst themselves, that you can only wear their shit on their uniform in their particular fashion, period. Never shall they combine. But that's not true of a member experience of Starfleet International. I know people that are both Starfleet Award members, Marine Award members, MACO Award members, old SFSO Award members, which might be the new SFSO members. We don't know. So these are the experience of trying to wear, should you be so inclined to wear a uniform and want to deck it out as glitzy as you want, if you one standard and one award, one way to display all of the awards that you've owned.
Yeah. Like Denise Rush has given me permission to wear my SFMC awards on a MACO dress uniform.
That's so nice of her.
Yes. The Marines, well, I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, in all honesty, me and Jeremy have had this conversation before. Denise Rush, Commandant of the Marine Corps, if I want to put whatever the heck I want to put on something I bought, and somebody wants to tell me, no, you can't do it, I'm going to say, well, okay, write me a check and pay for it. And then you can tell me what I can do with the stuff that I own.
Right. All other things is I like to describe it in my Air Force experience, if I might. We're very authoritative, but not directive.
Correct.
In that we have the right answer, but we can't tell you to use it. We have no responsibility. We have no authority. We have no interest, really, in telling you to fucking use it. But we should have, as SFSI, we're all one big happy fleet, to quote Khan, one answer for how the uniform should look, and we should have one answer as how I should look at you if you so desired to wear a uniform and all of your awards that you've possibly earned, or a neat arrangement thereof, because good gods, it gets ridiculous and you look like a third world dictator after a while. You should be able to wear your shit proudly, and it shouldn't matter what departments you're in. And that was the nature of that committee.
I agree.
And I couldn't get everybody to commit a dog to that fight. And that was the frustration.
Well, everybody thinks their branch they're heading up is their branch. Well, no, it's not their branch. It's Starfleet's branch. Get a clue.
True, true.
That's an adorable statement, yes. I agree entirely, Paul.
You know, like I got an order of Samaritan back in July. I was supplying the local senior citizens residence, which was under lockdown with the Canadian military actually providing medical assistance to this facility. And I teamed up with a former Metro Police officer, and we turned around and went for about 2 months picking up supplies of hygiene and stuff. And Rob Eel submitted a nomination to both Starfleet and Starfleet Marine Corps. Well, CS kicked out the Order of Samaritan third class. Marines did nothing. Never heard of.
So there's not been a great, and I think that would be like the third, or like there's the right hand doesn't always know what the left hand's doing, right? That's not friggin' news in SFI. I hate to break it to anybody if that's scattering their worldview of things, but it's not necessarily true. The orders of merit have been grossly underutilized at the chapter level for at least, I would say, minimum of 5 years.
That's true.
The Marines have been very well represented and very consistent in their awards programs for going on 30 plus years. It's not surprising that people try to go through the shit that works in lieu of the things that we're trying to make more standard. It doesn't mean that the one is more valid than the other. That's a matter of education. And it sounds like Lauren is totally rocking out to better music than the rest of us.
I'm hoping I'm helping out there.
Listening to what Bran is playing, I'm hearing what you're saying.
Playing?
Not playing that? Yeah. What am I playing? What is it now?
I don't know. It's just like it's my childhood. It's 90s music, you know, and also my eyes are failing. So, yeah.
Well, we're going on 2 hours now. This is Russ's game. He's just holding us hostage as long as
Russell.
I would say I can answer someone's misinterpretation, but it doesn't really relate to this argument. It's about an actual military one.
Nope, I don't want to see that one. I saw it and I got really pissed off.
Yeah, because I know it's not correct. I'm 110%. I know it's not correct. So
you mean both, brother.
Yeah. And this is coming from somebody who's also supposed. I know I've earned my car, so
we can entertain questions that are material to the conversation.
Yeah. But no, I think the big thing, once somebody else had said before, is like you draft the dogs. They were. Specific people were chosen by the CS to be on that committee, and
they failed to show
those are
up.
the people who didn't show up. It wasn't like we said, "Hey, you send us somebody." No, they literally got a letter specifically notated right to their address saying, "Hey, you, be here," and then they didn't show. So it just shows a little bit of how would I put it? The
No, I will go back to this as an all-volunteer organization, and we only have so much bandwidth. And I'm not going to fault people about that.
You mean I can say no when I get voluntold to do something?
Yeah, it turns out that's the thing.
I wish somebody would have told us this.
The no part? Yeah, the no part would have been good a while back.
The issue is you can't say no when you're like, your hands are in, you're like, no, I haven't. Shit.
Damn it, hand! Why the hell were you up there?
Why were you there? No.
I think it was a rope.
You did that to
I think it
yourself.
was a rope.
But
Yes, has my hand up to the rope.
We are an all-volunteer organization.
Right.
You can't actually just sign folks up and expect them to go. And I'm not going to hold people to that. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm not going to think ill of people for it. But it turns out that that particular committee just didn't fucking go. But we were trying to accomplish a thing, and we were trying to accomplish it for the fleet side, which was kind of funny because most of the time I sit here on my Marine side and say, the fleet side's silly. We have Marine shit. It's cool.
See, like right now, Jeremy, like speaking to the uniform codes and all that, Jeremy effectively is out of uniform.
I am totally out of uniform.
Yes, he is.
Unless I'm a reservist.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless I'm a reservist. But yeah, they can go Pat Sam on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you there. We've had that conversation many times.
I didn't put the collar brass on. But and now, well, Paul's uniform, I think that requires fucking collar brass
What's that?
for a Marine uniform, because there's nowhere else to put anything on that because it's all fucking slanty lines. There's no straight lines ever.
Hey, welcome to my world. Look at the navy white or the navy enlisted white dress uniform.
Oh god!
You know?
Like there's nothing to align anything from.
Nope.
Yeah, that's why I went to the Air Force. It's actually not why I went to the Air Force. But,
13 buttons.
They don't even have those no more.
I know. Don't even get me going on that. I just had somebody, one of their kids, a friend of mine, go into boot camp, and I'm like, they came back, and I'm like, so did you shine boots? No. Did you get yelled at? No. Did you get busted? No. They have fucking little cards they hand out now that if the RDC is in their face, they can give them a 15-minute timeout. They get 5 or 6 of them a month or some shit like that.
Oh, we had those. We had those when I was in too. Yeah, you didn't use them.
I didn't have those. I didn't
have no goddamn card.
I didn't have that.
We had them. We had them. We got them issued, and you had every one of them by the time you left. Either that, or you would look like a pro wrestler if you would use those cards, because they just look at the cards and say, "What the hell is this?" Get in the conditionary. Like push-ups, begin.
Dude, I never stood inspection because it was open ranks, march, Karsten on your face. That's what I understood was the command.
Girl Scout.
I did push-ups through each and every inspection. It was goddamn ridiculous. But all right, so Lauren's apparently indicated we might wrap this shit up. Or
is that what I'm doing?
I don't know.
We need to wrap it up, box.
Or she's plotting maniacally. Oh.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, I think we will end it.
So,
We're
Lauren,
at 2 hours and 1 minute.
This is maniacal.
Russell, just a heads up, I sent you a PM on Starfleet Marine Corps award stuff. Looking for
Okay, I'll find it. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
It's like, which screen? Is it that one, that one, that one, that one, or that one? So it's on one of them. But yeah, I found it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just to basically order some stuff to complete
the QM. Yeah, I can get you the QM information.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's easy. But again, tonight we were joined by Admiral Jeff Higdon, Chief of Communications, Fleet Captain Lauren White of the what?
I'm laughing at Jeff. I'm sorry.
Oh,
stop smiling! You're waking me up.
CEO of the USS Haven in Region 2 and the HR Director for Fleet. Chief Petty Officer Paul Williams, the USS Essex. Brigadier General Jeremy Karsten, Regional Coordinator, Region 3, Chief Engineer, USS Battleborn, and the OIC of 3rd Brigade. And Admiral Bran Stimpson of Starfleet Member Services and Region 17 Regional Coordinator.
We had a couple others in there too, but these are the
These are the people that are still here. Yeah, these are the ones that survived. We also had Captain Donna Roselle from the USS Mobius.
Hey, was that Commander Starfleet guy here for 10 minutes?
Yeah, like intermittently.
He was in. Yeah, Commander Starfleet was here intermittently.
To his credit, he was here as long as he was in Region 3's Take 3 tonight. So
right. Yeah, that's the fun thing that we all have to remember too. We love our Starfleet, but in the end, we have to pay the bills. So can't always be doing everything. Good night, everybody, and as always, live long and prosper.